Well, it looks like we're eagerly looking forward to this session as well. So we're about to get the discussion started. That being said, let me go ahead and invite our speakers on stage. First up, ladies and gentlemen, may I please invite Ms. Praveena Rai, Chief Operating Officer, National Payments Corporation of India, who's spearheading the session. And we have the august presence of none other than Shri Amitabh Chaudhry, Managing Director and CEO, Axis Bank Limited. Can we please have a wealthy round of applause, everyone? Please help me welcome Shri Amitabh Chaudhry and Ms. Praveena Rai. Thank you very much for joining us this afternoon. Thank you very much, sir. And with that, Praveena ma'am, over to you.
Hi, good afternoon, everybody. We've been having a wonderful 2.5 days, and this is, of course, the big last half day of the Global Fintech Festival. After a wonderful session by the PM today morning, I think we have some big events lined up. And thank you. I don't need to introduce Mr. Amitabh Chaudhry, CEO and MD of Axis Bank Limited. So thank you, sir, for joining us here today. And it's a very interesting topic, very much aligned with an important discussion at the Fintech Festival. And that's about deposit mobilization in a digital-first banking economy. And the key word here is the digital-first. Digital-first is very relevant when you look at technology powering finance and finance powering technology. And that's really what fintech is all about. And somebody was telling me some time back that it's fintech or tech fin, but whichever way it is, it's all, I think, deeply intertwined and leading to its own opportunities and its own challenges. So digital transactions also enable and empower a very high velocity of transaction flow. And with this comes a lot of ease and power to the consumer in the way they are able to transact and access a wide range of services that they need. So if we look at data relevant to the topic, on one hand, we're seeing a very healthy growth of deposits, about 10.5%, latest numbers at about 212 lakh crores plus. However, credit is also growing at a very high rate, close to 14% in the 164 lakh range. We also have customers becoming more aware and more number of users and investments in funds and various kind of securities leading to AUM growth of close to 34%. So that's the kind of reflection of core customer behavior as they are looking to enhance their digital experiences beyond payments. So it's about investment, it's about having access to credit, it's about insurance, and really opening up that with what they have as easier reach. So I want to really open with that and hear your point of view on what do you see is the consumer behavior change? The most recent trends, is it changing? Is there anything that you see of impact?
Apologies about that. So yes, we are seeing different trends emerge on the consumer side as we go out and try to reach them in terms of obviously raising deposits. Deposit mobilization is the topic, but also about selling various services and products. One is that when people come into a digital world, they expect the kind of digital experiences, some of the best digital experiences they have gone through. So it's instant, it should happen immediately, it should tell them exactly at every part of the journey what's happening. They obviously expect security and all of that to be a basic feature of what they do. And not only that, the fact that they are transacting on a platform, they've come to believe means that that in itself is good business for the platform, and they want to get more benefits. So one is experience, second is this notion that I need to get some benefit because I'm transacting. And that should be good enough. So there is an expectation from the platform or the provider of services that there is some benefit. Third is that obviously as people are getting more and more savvy, they also are fleshing out all the benefits much better than the others. And so all the platform providers have a certain modeling done on what benefits will get really utilized, and you're seeing that get blown out of proportion because people are becoming savvy about using it. Third, a lot of people are actually becoming a bit wary of working on some of these platforms because, especially on the banking side, frauds are increasing manifold, and a lot of the people in the audience or otherwise have gone through some scary experience of not being frauded, coming close to getting frauded, or knowing of someone who's got frauded on doing digital financial transactions. We are also seeing that it is not just the young population which is expecting those experiences. I think as, I would say, older people, even senior citizens, as they're experiencing this, you are realizing that they're also adopting to the technology quite well. I think initially there was a notion, oh, it's only meant for younger people. That's no longer the case. I've recently seen an ad from a competing bank talking about how senior citizen is using the technology. So I think obviously they've seen this trend. So you're seeing a lot of these emergent consumer behaviors. And the last thing which I just want to leave with everyone is, people, like everything digital, want to spend the least amount of time. They want to get the maximum thing done in the least possible time. So you have their attention span for a very limited period. It's in that span you have to get your message, your product, your service, your brand across. So you have to manage all that.
Yeah, no, so well said. Getting the most done in the least amount of time, and that's what the digital world offers to our consumers, and they're demanding it now. So how does the bank look at this in terms of leveraging technology to service and address this kind of consumer behavior?
So there are three parts to, let me focus on deposits. There are three very simple parts to this equation. One is that I need to firstly get customers to come to my platform to open a deposit or engage with me. Second, they need to go and open the deposit. And third, I need to engage them so that they can transact more with me and keep more money with me. As far as getting the customer to your platform is concerned, obviously you use all the typical means like advertising, get your message across, sitting here, doing a lot of UPI and obviously participating in all the digital platforms. You also obviously want to ensure that your products have unique features which allows you to connect with the customers in a different way. So for example, in case of Access, we have a Amaze product which basically says that you pay one small amount of money every year and then all the services for you are free. So you don't have to worry about every service, just pay a small amount, and that shows your commitment to being on this platform. And from our perspective, we believe we can provide you all the services for free. Second is, you also need to communicate to the market at large that you are savvy, you are innovative, you are digitally, your prowess is better than all the institutions out there, because no one is getting up in the morning and saying, today I'll open an account or I'll put some money somewhere. It is a calibrated, well thought through decision. So you have to work at the subconscious mind of the customer to ensure that as and when they are ready to or moving towards a decision, your name crops up, and then when they go and do the analysis, you are the one which is chosen. So whatever you can do to get through that journey is important. And a lot of the work which you do there is digital. It's not necessarily all physical. Once the customer comes to your platform, obviously whatever you can do to make the journey the simplest. So there the journey, the experience matters. So how simple you have made it for the customer to come and open an account, or use a product of yours, or open a FD, or prompt the customer to not only think of the basic service they were looking for, but maybe add a bouquet of services to it so that you can cross-sell more. So that's the second part. And third part is obviously engagement. Because the more engaged the customer is, more they will transact with you, the more deposits they will keep with you. Because if they're transacting more, they need to keep the money to be able to transact more. So how do you use personalized nudges? How do you use AI, ML to ensure that you're understanding the customer very well? How do you, work on the payment side so that they can use the platform for all kinds of payments? How do you ensure that you can cross-sell some products so that more products they buy from you, they are more engaged with you? So whatever you can do on the engagement side is also important then to not only keep the customer with you, but deepen the relationship with the customer. Now, obviously, I made it all sound very simple. Underlying all this, which people underestimate, is you need a technology stack which works. And that requires a huge amount of investment. That requires for all the various pieces of technology to speak to each other. That requires APIs so that you can speak to all the partners which might be giving you some of this business. There's a huge amount of investment underlying this. Upfront investment and ongoing investment to ensure that ensuring that you can acquire, ensuring that the customer journey is great, and then ensuring engagement is even better, works and works seamlessly.
That's wonderful. I mean, that sounded like a fintech founder speaking. Thank you for that. Having said that, I think when we look at, in fact, the number of bank accounts a person has, I think over time, just over one's life, it sort of builds up and adds up. I myself probably have about 3 or 4 accounts. I probably close to.
We'll help you. We'll help you. Let me bring it down. All to access. Huh?
One is enough. So, there was a salary account in an old job, or maybe there is a joint account with the parent or with a spouse. I guess just over time, people end up with these multiple accounts. And I have heard a number of consumers really look for a great UPI experience, for example. And really, while they may be using some other app, they look for a bank that can give them a great UPI experience. And that goes back to what you were saying about the kind of investments in the tech stack and so on and so forth. And where the customer wants to pay from becomes that point of high affinity and becomes what one could call the house bank. I think house bank was a very corporate word, but I think it's increasingly more relevant in the retail and consumer space as well. So thanks for that. I thought we'll talk a little bit about how does this work with branch banking. There's a traditional sort of sense of banking, customer walks in, deeply engaging. And I think in India we've seen not just with banks, even if it is an NBFC, what I hear regularly is, we are a phygital nation. So, there is that whole physical presence. Customers are comfortable. They feel that, they'll be taken care of. It creates loyalty, it creates engagement. And then on the other side, on the other extreme, customers also want this whole digital interaction. There is a trade-off, and sort of there's also a balancing act between the two. So how do you view this?
So firstly, let me solve your problem. In Axis Bank mobile app, we have a feature, Praveena, where you can not only look at Axis account, but all the other accounts at the same time. And we're very soon adding a functionality where you can transact on those accounts also. So you don't have to close any account, you can just keep adding features to it. But coming to the branch banking, I completely agree that while we can digitize every service, every product, there are certain services or products where customers have this desire and need to have a conversation or a face-to-face interaction. And you cannot take them away. It will be very wrong on your part to say, no, that service is not available. So for the way we are looking at this world is very simple, actually. We are saying that you too please engage with us on your digital side as much as you want. Almost all products and services are available digitally. You can transact digitally, absolutely no problem. But you can also come to any of our, why physical? You can come to our call center, you can write a mail to us, and we will enable all the people who are sitting on the other side of the table or other side of the call who know exactly, are fully enabled to provide you a digital experience in the sense that they can themselves walk through that journey, but you might feel that you're having a physical interaction. So our call centers, our branch people are enabled digitally. We have actually an internal app called Siddhi which actually allows them to do that. Not only that, I will also know that where you have left your digital or physical journey last time around and literally pick it up whenever you want to have or restart the conversation. Third, not only that, add another feature where I know not only of this interaction, but I know of all the other interactions you've had with me. through a platform we have called internally called Kaleidoscope, where I know you went and used this service. It might not be unrelated, but I know. I also know you went and had a conversation about something else. You went on our mobile platform and did something. So I have a full idea when you're sitting across me or on a call that these are the kind of interactions you've had with me over the past defined period of time. So we are telling our customers we'll become more and more digitally savvy. But if you want that physical interaction, you have that option. If you want to use that option, please do use it. I will know, and I will be able to guide you digitally through that interaction and give you the same answer you would have got in a digital platform. That's how we're thinking about it.
So how do you see this linking back to the point on deposit mobilization? Do you see this, the digital consumer versus the sort of traditional banking consumer, and many sort of on that continuum there? How does that work?
So every deposit we open, we ask our customers to choose a branch. We're not, I think, just choose it so that we know. And so in that sense, the customer knows they can go to that branch, they can go to any other branch. Our view is that because it is assigned to a branch, those all digital deposits also come to the branch. It's not that they're sitting in some separate unit and the branch banking is saying, why am I getting involved in this? I think the entire branch banking team understands that all the deposits are ultimately part of a branch network, including digital deposits. Who helped who, how much, what percentage was that, does not matter. Our only hope is that our productivity, our costs, our productivity improve, costs will go down over a period of time because as customers transact with us more and more digitally, my productivity of an employee sitting in the branch will only go up. My overall operating costs will keep coming down, and the entire system benefits.
So you're saying from the bank standpoint, it really doesn't matter. You're just serving the customer better, and through this, deepening the relationship, looking at more touch points, and so on and so forth. Then the rest of it is an internal MI exercise in who gets credit for what. Yeah, that's wonderful. So you spoke some time back about the use of technology, use of AI, in the way you sort of lead that customer beyond what brought them to the bank in the first place, into the larger suite of services and so on and so forth. What is your most favorite technology/AI, if I may also throw that in, initiative that you're running?
So I'll talk about the initiative, but let me just say what our vision as far as the customer is concerned. We would like the customer to be seen as the only customer the bank is serving, and every customer to have a personalized experience with the bank. So every customer should have a unique page which opens up on the mobile app because of what the customer wants, not because I have a certain UI UX feature in my app. My app, my branch, my call center should be serving to the customer what the customer wants, based on how we can using AI and ML, how I understand and how well I understand the customer, using both structured and unstructured data. So that's the vision. Now, to get to that vision, end of the day, we are right now running, I think, about 15 experiments on AI ML within Axis Bank. One of the first solutions which we have introduced within the bank, which is not customer facing, is more internal facing, is a feature, or let's say called an app called Adi, where any of our people serving the customers can ask questions around product, services, procedures, etc., and rules about any product or service, and they get a very comprehensive answer from this tool which we're using. And obviously, we have been educating that tool over a period of time to give that answer, right? So rather than they having to go and search anywhere, as the customer is sitting across you or on a call, you can post your question on Adi and it will give you right away the answer in great detail. In many cases, it can prompt you and tell you exactly what to say to the customer. So now the second feature we are adding is that as the customer is talking to us on a call, our AI ML tools will be feeding to the call center agent what exactly you say at that point in time, based on real-time listening to that conversation. So we're working on that. That's the second feature. We obviously are introducing a lot of this stuff on the credit side, even on the wholesale side, and looking at how we are processing various transactions on HR side in terms of passing through resumes, because we end up hiring a lot of people. So as I said, there are about 15 pilots which we are running. Let's not underestimate the fact that it is quite expensive. It's not cheap. So when people say that, oh, they are saving a lot of money, I'm not sure where they're seeing the money rise yet. Right now, we're just experimenting. Hopefully, over a period of time, as we know how to use it better, the cost will come down. As more and more large language models come up, hopefully the cost will come down. And as it and when it happens, hopefully as a bank will be ready to use more of it and obviously get an advantage internally in terms of just coming across to the customers much better than a lot of the other institutions.
Yeah, so that's so true. I think having a co-pilot, AI-driven co-pilot for various kinds of customer interaction is certainly a hot favorite. Expensive though it could be in the experimental stage, given where we are with all the AI hardware that is required to run it. So, there are some small trends that are there, probably more globally, where micro savings to drive deposits, gamification to drive deposits. These are some things that have tried. It's worked in some ways in some markets, maybe not in others. You have any views on that?
So there are potentially 8 or 10 ways which we can talk about right now, which can help in garnering deposits. My kind of first view is that these are all opportunities. All these opportunities are being tested in some form or shape. What exactly will work, we don't know today because we have not achieved, and when I say we, I'm speaking on behalf of financial services industry, we have not achieved scale in frankly any one of them as yet. So yes, today you have zero balance accounts and you have financial institutions which are saying that they are quite successful. Well, I think it still needs to be proved. You talked about gamification. All of us are attempting gamification of some sort. So to give you an idea, we, on our mobile app, started this last year something called memory lanes. And if you clicked on memory lanes, it will go back to all your transactions of the last 12 months and tell you how you transacted with us. Where did you spend the money? Where did the money come in? And give you some insights on how you could, how you could potentially transact with us going forward in the future. And not only that, we have started giving you badges. On our personal financial management side, we are looking at tools where we can actually run some kind of games and get people more interested. It comes back to that engagement part of the, I talked to you about. How do you engage customers? Micro savings. So can we tell them save this much money? Gamification. Can we do something like that? Can we ensure that you transact with us more because you're using more of our products and services? Can I nudge you for, say, a KYC or an EMI or some bill which is due or some proposition I have for you? Or by the way, these discounts are going on here. So all of it are being looked at. We are trying a lot of experiments. Some of them we are seeing a clear lift, so we're doing more of it. Some of them we are not seeing a success, so we are tweaking it. And that's a journey I think all of us will be on for quite some time because, customer behavior is evolving, technology is evolving. We are also introducing newer things all the time. So let's see how it evolves. It is a long haul here. It's not going to happen overnight.
Yeah, that's so true, right? Because it's all about innovating, testing, trying, being able to iterate back on that, pick up the learnings, which nudge worked, which didn't work. And I think the more agile one gets at that, the more effective it becomes. So I think as we come to the wrap of this, given that we are at the Fintech Festival, the bank, of course, does a lot of work with fintechs. How do you see your philosophy in terms of collaboration, partnership with fintechs? And if there's something that you really want the fintechs to do for you, and you could do it in the view of deposit mobilization or whatever you need to look at as a bank, I'd like to hear some last words from you.
No, I was too focused on access. So no, you're absolutely right. I think this journey cannot be complete without working with fintechs in partnership. In some cases, I said it earlier also, taking some stakes in them so that we can actually collaborate with them even deeper and more than what we do typically in a typical partnership. They are coming up with technologies, products, services, adjacencies, which can make your ecosystem, your interaction with the customer that much more fruitful, powerful, and it'll be a loss on our side if we were not working with them. I think as far as the financial services industry is concerned, we, in our calls, I know, talk about the number of fintech partnerships we have and how we continue to expand. Obviously, if I remember last time in GFF, I talked about that fintechs need to focus on compliance. I think that thing has started coming through quite clearly, loudly. And as I think all of us collaborate and do it in a compliant fashion, I think both the sides will benefit in a significant fashion. We have the customers, we have deep pockets, we have technology infrastructure. We also have the desire to look like a fintech in front of the customers who want to engage with us in a certain way. And in many cases, we realize we don't have enough resources or the time to be able to do it, and fintechs can help us get there. So yes, we work with the largest fintechs, and we work with the followed fintechs also, and all of them are welcome with open arms.
Thank you very much. That was a very engaging session. Thank you, Amitabh, for your time here. And big round of applause.
Thank
Big
you. Thank you so much.
for Amitabh.